Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show, we're going to talk about two things today. Donald Trump going into Memphis, going to make Memphis a safe city, and the thugs want to keep him out. And we're going to also talk about a little secret about the Indian tribes here in America that I think the black folks might like. We're going to talk about that today on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. Let's get this thing started. Donald Trump continues his Make America Safe road tour. MAGAS, Make America Safe. MASS, I guess what that would be. Make America Safe. Maybe Make America Safe again. Massa. Oh boy, black folks would love that, wouldn't it? Massa. Make America safe again. Because that's how they see Donald Trump coming into the black community with these saying, Massa, don't do that, Massa. We be good, Massa. You know, man, it is a shame they don't want him to come and make America safe again. I can understand why they don't use that acronym. I'm going to use it for them. Massa. Because sometimes you got to have the whip, man. We give you a home rule, and you was acting a damn fool with it. Dope on the street, fighting on the street, and that's bad enough. Then you're gonna start housing criminals, illegal aliens. Come up here. I mean, you giving aid and comfort to the enemy, man, to an invader. Man, y'all just take it too damn far. Give it a house, and you can sell dope out the window, and have it a safe house of criminals. And have stolen goods stashed there while you're doing hair and nails at the same time. And you probably have a daycare there. Dope house, daycare, nail salon, stash house. That's Memphis. So Donald Trump said, I'm going to come down, I'm going to clean all these illegals out, and anybody else I find in there showing out, I'm going to take you to jail too. And man, and the Democrats are angry. So, you know, they started complaining because Trump was going up to New York, which was a blue state, Chicago, which is in a blue state, and he went into California and LA, which is blue state. So they started complaining, well, how come Donald Trump don't ever go into Republican state? Republican states got bad cities too. Trump doesn't want to mess with us. So no, there ain't no problem. Ain't nothing but a word. Donald Trump said, I need to go to Memphis anyway, because Memphis, of all the crime, all the criminal cities in America, guess who's number one? Anybody want to guess? Memphis. Now, think about that for a minute. America is the most crime-ridden country in the world, and Memphis is the most crime-ridden city in the most crime-ridden country in the world, which means that Memphis probably is the most crime-ridden city in the whole world. Stands to reason, doesn't it? Memphis got more violence probably than Gaza and Afghanistan. Boy, that's a damn shame. So, Memphis is jacked up. Let's put it like that, okay? And Donald Trump says, well, I come into a red state, now straighten that out. Number thing here. And the governor of Tennessee said, come on down. He's not like Gavin Newsom and Fatboy Pritzker, grooming Gavin and Fatboy Pritzker. I don't want you, and Kathy Hochul up there. Like something wrong with Kathy Hochul on it. Every time I look at her, like she stuck her finger in like a light socket or something because her eyes are bulging out. She looks like she's crazy. Well, all Democrats do. But, so the governor of Tennessee says, hey, man, come on down. You know, bring as many National Guards as you want to. Memphis needs to be cleaned up. So then they talked to this brother who's the mayor of Memphis named Paul Young. Of course, he's a black Democrat, okay? So Paul Young kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. He's got the criminal element that do not want the National Guard in. And that's his support unit. And he probably get all his campaign contributions from them. Then he has the state legislature and the wealthy people who do want the National Guard in. And so he's trying to play both sides. So if you see him on like national TV, like on the national show, he act like he want the National Guard in. Then you got to get him on some black show. We don't need that. We don't need it. Remind me of the federal, it's just. So Trump's coming into Memphis, and of course you got these folks that don't like it. And I'm kind of torn with it because I understand Donald Trump's sentiment. But there's a TikTok I want y'all to watch, or maybe Instagram, of this lady, parental advisory, she's doing some cussing on it now. She's a black lady. And she's kind of giving my sentiment on this about how these people are. Let's listen to this.
Let's talk about the land for a second. The DNC acknowledges and honors the Dakota Oyate, the Dakota people, who are the original stewards of the lands and waters of Minneapolis. The Dakota cared for the lands, lakes, and the Wapatonka, the Great River, the Mississippi River, for thousands of years before colonization. This land was not claimed or traded. It's a part of a history of broken treaties and promises. And in many ways, we still live in a system built to suppress Indigenous peoples' cultural and spiritual history.
She cut down to the chase, didn't she? These people tend to care more about the criminals than they do their own children. They have a tendency to care more about the Democratic Party than they do their own children. They have a tendency to hate Republicans more than they love their own children. Bearing that in mind, she just might be right. Don't worry about them. I've told you before, there are two things there's one thing that's happening here. One thing that's happening. And the way you look at this one thing, it can be labeled either good or bad. What is this one thing? Liberal Democrats are going to kill themselves. That's the one thing. You can either look at that as a bad thing that they're going to kill themselves or a good thing that they're going to kill themselves. Bad thing is like, from my point of view, saying, man, I hate these people are going to die. I wish they would save themselves and live a good life. And the good thing being, man, I'm glad these people dying. This way they won't kill me. They won't rob me. They will not harm me. There's one thing that's definitely going to happen. Liberal Democrats are going to kill themselves. How you look at that will determine whether it is good or bad. The reason they have to bring these illegals in is very simple. They're aborting all their children. The ones they don't abort, they're putting in prison. The ones that survive abortion in prison, these are dying through drug overdoses and murder and suicide. And the ones that survive those three, as soon as they get their credit straight and enough money in their pocket, they're leaving. Consequently, the South is picking up residents. That means they're getting more congressional districts and more control in Congress. This migration from the North to the South, provided the seats that the South has, and has given them the cushion to allow them to take over Congress this last session. Just the migration from the North. The North is trying to replenish this with illegal aliens because in the census, the numbers that they use to draw congressional districts are raw numbers of everyone, including illegals. This is why you have your sanctuary cities. They're trying to draw these people up here because they want the numbers. They need the numbers. for their congressional district so they can take over Congress. And if they take over Congress, they can get money for all kinds of stuff up in these blue areas. All kinds of foolishness. This is what's going on. And this is the reason why they don't want Trump in these areas. And this is the reason why they're fighting him tooth and nail. So maybe Trump can just come in and run out their illegals and leave out of the city and say do as much dope, put as many of them in prison, abort as many of them as you want, do as many suicides, and kill each other and be exponential about it. And hurry up and get out the way so America can do great things, as Ebenezer Scrooge says, eliminate the surplus population. But no, that's not Christian. And that's not how we conservatives are. We're going to try to help you even if you don't want to help yourself. We're going to try to save you even if you don't want to try to save yourself. You know why? Because you're Americans. And that's just what we do for one another. Even though you'd kill us, we're going to love you. So you take that with you and you accept this as a Christmas gift from the Christian conservatives in America. Even though you hate us, we love you anyway. All right. That's something that I've known this for a while. But it only made sense to me to bring it up after I was watching the DNC convention. And they started the DNC convention with this woman coming out there talking about that America was built on Indian land, the convention site, all this kind of stuff, on Indian land. And the Democratic Party had to put out some type of proclamation saying that they recognize this as being true. In all my life, I've been hearing black folks talk about how white folks mistreated the Indians and how white folks did the Indians wrong and how black people and Indians were all mistreated by the white man, how the white man was a racist because how he treated the Indians. But it's something that these stupid Negroes didn't know. And you know what that was, y'all? That of the 5 civilized nations, that's the Cherokee, the Choctaw, the Creek, the Seminoles, they had slaves. They said that these nations had altogether about 10,000 slaves and that they all joined the Confederacy. Pause for effect. Yeah, they fought for the Confederacy, y'all, and and black people today still want to side with these Indian nations as a solidarity against white supremacy when these Indian nations had your ancestors enslaved and fought for the Confederacy. Hell, it makes sense. You side with the Democratic Party, did the same thing. I mean, they had this Indian by the name of Stand Watie. He was a brigadier general, and he was the second principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. And he was in command of all the Indian forces in the Trans-Mississippi Theater. Stand Watie, he was so hardcore Confederate, that joker was the last Confederate general to surrender to the Union forces. He fought to the end, man. In 2024, the DNC opened with an acknowledgement that the land that they were on was forcibly removed from the Indian nations. Now, these same white folks with the Confederacy and with the Democratic Party treats the Indians like they treat black people. Lip service. Oh, they'll say it all, but they're not going to give you back into their land. You can cry till hell freezes over. You're not going to get not 1 acre back, not 1 blade of grass back. Same thing about reparations when it comes to black people from the Democratic Party. Oh, yeah, they'll give you all kind of lip service, but when it comes down to writing that check, you jokers ain't going to never get it. And it's amazing how ignorant black folks always side with the people that enslaved them and always want to fight against the people that freed them. The Republican Party came down here and freed you from your master without your knowledge, your participation. And now you want to sue them. 600,000 deaths freeing you. $3.2 trillion. I said $1 trillion spent. Had federal troops down south from 1861 to 1877, 16 years, freeing you and trying to make sure you could vote and keeping you safe. And at the end, you still say, we want more. 600,000 lives, $3.2 trillion, and a 16-year occupation of federal troops, all for you. And you want to sue the stars and the bars, well, the stars and stripes that freed you, and you want to have solidarity with the Indians and the Confederacy that had your black ass enslaved. I tell you what, man, beam me up, Scotty. There's a reason why you're at the bottom of every socioeconomic statistic in America, because you got to be stupid to form that type of ideology. It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But again, that's who you are. Whenever you want to figure out why black people are at the bottom of everything, you contemplate that. The fact that they are still tied at the hip, most of them, with a party of perverts, liars, psychopaths, anti-Christian bigots. A party that has turned its back on God. Oh, they love Jesus Christ on Sunday. But a party that curses his name. Don't mutter his name around us. Run him out the public school system. Bring the drag queens in. Take the Bible that you love and pull it out of the libraries and put porn in. Oh, yeah. Have demented men in the bathrooms with your daughters, locker rooms. Aborting over half your children every year, up to the 9th month. Sending your soul to hell. And now you come to find out that the Cherokee that you think you had, and the Cherokee and the Choctaw and the Creek and the Seminoles and all the rest of them that you had solidarity with, they also had your behind enslaved. But it's par for the course. Y'all never cease to amaze me with your ignorance. You never cease to amaze me with your self-hatred. You never cease to amaze me with your ability to always choose the wrong side. And this is not designed to have you turn against your brother, Native Americans in the United States of America. I just think that it's good for you guys to know what the history is, know the true history, and understand what it is. Don't fall for the lie that just because the Native Americans and the whites had beef, that these people were automatically on your side. That's not true. Part of the biggest problem at the end of the Civil War with the Native Americans and the Union soldiers that the Native Americans had worked with the Confederacy. And a lot of them never surrendered. That's where the Buffalo Soldier came from. Y'all wondered why black men in Union uniforms were going out north fighting the Indians. That's why. Because the Indians fought for their enslavement. When I was young, I was wondering too. Heard about the Buffalo Soldiers, and I was saying, why are the Buffalo Soldiers out there fighting Indians? Shouldn't they be helping the Indians out against the white man? History didn't teach you that the Indians out there had slaves. and then they had fought with the Confederacy to destroy America. And that's why the Buffalo Soldier had no love for them. But now you know. Check it out for yourself. It's easy to Google. Just put in, did Native Americans or Indians have slaves? And they'll go, poof! It'll show up and you can read it all for yourself because I know you don't want to believe it. White man told you to believe that, so. Just something for you to ponder. So let us support our president while he goes and cleans up these cities. And I want you to learn your history. And I want you to be knowledgeable. And I want you to make the right decisions. And I am here on this website, and I am here with my books. I am here with my podcast. I'm here to do my speeches because I'm here to wake you up. And I hope I did you some good here today. So join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, we're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it, make it number one. If you got my first three, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good. And it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.